Boy, oh boy, do I have a spicy video for you. Wait until you see the technicals that I have for NVIDIA, Tesla, Bitcoin, and then also I'll go over SPY, QQQ, IWM, and as the kicker, DJT. Wait till I tell you about that play. So check this out. NVIDIA first, here we go. So for NVIDIA, this trend line right across your screen, ignore everything else for the moment, just look at this trend line. This is what we're currently contending with right now, is that we're on the bottom side of this thing. Now momentum is creeping up. It looks like we're starting to get to a point where we could possibly punch out up above that. There we go. That's where I wanted that, exactly there. So you can see the touch that we have there. The touch is along here. This resistance that we have here is actually right around also a 23.6 from the most recent drop that we've had. So that's about 23.6% of the way back up to the position that we had all the way at the top of this thing, all the way going back here. So that's really super critical resistance. If we're going to see NVIDIA pop back up above this, breaking above this resistance is going to be key for us. And it starts with this trend line that we have right here from these most recent prices. We caught a nice bounce off of support today. You can see, if I zoom in a little bit more, that the market tried to shove it back down and NVIDIA was just like, nah, I got this. Let's do this. And we finished in the after hours here, coming up against this resistance, this trend line that we have, and then historic resistance, Fibonacci retracements, extensions, you name it, it's all here. And I can't tell you how critical that we have between 108 and 109 that we punch up above that. If we do, we have room up to close to 112 is up to that north side of that. So we'll see. I mean, seeing that support hold, that could be a good thing for us. Now, mind you, it's still September. The market's still a little bit crazy. Anything could happen, and we have already hit this price target of 105, and we got within like $1 of this one right here. So just be careful on this. If we fail to break through this, we're probably heading back down towards support, and the next time probably won't be as pretty for us because we're getting then a lower high than what we got before, and then we're trying to see if we put in a lower low. As a matter of fact, we just got a lower low than all these and lower high than all these, and so now, man, I can't tell you how important that is. So be on the lookout for that trend line. This is the hourly chart that we're looking at, by the way. And so it looks like we're stuck right now between 105 and resistance at about 108, and then up above resistance up to about 112 for that northern price target that we have with plenty of resistance to that north side, by the way. Check out Tesla now. Tesla is actually on an hour, this is actually the 4-hour chart that we're looking at. You can see the two trend lines and the fact that as they go off to the right of your screen that they're starting to converge. This is starting to look like a rising wedge pattern, which is actually a bearish reversal pattern. So we're going to have to watch and see. Maybe we get that run up to October the 10th. And so that would be pretty crazy because that's a long time. Maybe we could find ourselves hitting this northern price target up here. That, as a matter of fact, if I put my cursor out here, that trend line where that cursor meet, that's like end of September, like last week of September is about where that cursor is right now. So that could give us that space for that run up leading up to the full self-driving day, the robo-taxi day on October the 10th. We'll see what we get from that. As of right now, things are looking pretty good for Tesla. We'll see if resistance right here, actually it's support now that today happened. Let's turn that darn thing green. Boom, there we go. The support that we have right in here is at about 215 to 216. We were able to take that today. Let me zoom in. You can see it even better. And the sell that we had just put us at the bottom of that trend line. Another touch. Resistance, support holding out nicely for us. You can see that price target at 210 that we had. It hit. And we've had these two other price targets hit, but not price target 3. Come on, 242. Tesla, you can do it. I know you can. All right. So to the south side of this, though, watch for these supports that are on here. As soon as for a rising wedge pattern like this one, as soon as we break down through that bottom, that support that we have down there, that's where the thing really starts to trigger, especially if we come back and retest it and get rejected again from the bottom side of it. That's really when a sell can take place. So just be on the lookout. Oftentimes when people play these, they usually play it off the top line that we have for resistance and ride it back down. Then look and see if they're going to retrace it all. So, by the way, one other thing that's very important about this, breaking out the top of it is very bullish. That's also something we should watch out for. We go to Bitcoin. Short term, this is a daily chart that we're looking at here. Short term, little bearish channel we find ourselves in today, trying to push up above it with a very big old fat critical resistance right up here. And that critical resistance happens to be at 57,588 is that number as I read it off my screen. And you can see the price targets. We were all the way down here at about 54,000 and we climbed up over where are we at right now? We climbed up over the just south of 56,000 price target. And maybe if we can get over this resistance, pretty soon we find ourselves back at 61,000. We're going to have to see. If not, if we can't break that resistance, if instead we get rejected, then it's welcome to price target 3 down here to the south side of this. So these price targets that I have, man, I've been on fire with the technicals on this. If you guys want to see them before they hit YouTube, check them out over at the Discord available through the Patreon. That link's down in the description. I also post my buys and sells over there. And wait till I tell you about the DJT stock play, because we were in it and it hit today. And that was pretty cool, along with TMF. Well, you know, another bonus for you guys, we'll throw in TMF. And if you guys want to learn about technical analysis and empower your portfolios through technical analysis trading, there's a link for that in the description too. The course for Stockmo Academy, bread recipe. Go ahead and sign up and you get access to that. I'll teach you all about the bread recipe. It tells you all about how to set it up. Everything from beginning to end. The only thing it doesn't tell you to do is what or when to buy or sell, but it does tell you about how to watch for those things, those opportunities to come along. Use the code word DOCTOR, DOCTOR. That's going to give you a massive discount on that course. All right, let's keep on going from here. So Bitcoin, nice momentum, nice bounce. It's got to break this resistance at just... It's about 57.6 if you want to round it to that. $12 shy of that, but we're going to call it 57.6. Got to break through that. Oh, just as I record this, and it is 5:15 p.m. Eastern time here. Look at that. And we're also doing it on pretty okay volume too. So maybe we do start to ignite that 61,000. We'll see when tomorrow hits, or maybe if you guys watch it through the night. I'll check in again on the morning. Check in on it again in the morning, and we'll see what we see. We'll see if that price target hits or not. So let's move on from there into SPY. Check this out. So what we found for this one for today, ran into resistance, blasted right through it. Now we have it as support, which means we get to update this from red to green. Man, oh man, it's like Christmas around here. There we go. So there we go. Now we have this as support. Now that we're up above it, got a good old bounce coming off of that. And so for SPY, that is a very nice thing to see. The next stop after that's about 550 to the upside. If we come back down, retest support, we have room all the way down to 544. Although there's some other levels that are in here as well that we could find ourselves sticking at. I think that this green area here would be good. We'll see if that momentum that we got can hold out today. Again, we're looking at the hourly chart for SPY, and we have crept up above 50 on the RSI. And let's go actually out to the daily chart, and we'll just take a look to see, without the technicals on, just to see what happened today. So look at this. This is critical for us. Very important that you look at this. This red line that we have coming across the screen is the 50 EMA, and we got rejected off of that. In the post market, we're creeping up above it. Up above that is the 50-day at 549. So I said 550 was pretty important for us. 549 is darn close. We'll see if we peekaboo up above that. Overtaking the red and the blue 50s on here, whether it's the EMA or the SMA, is a bullish thing. We want to get back up above those. If we can't get back up above those, then we have to look out for what could happen down below, because we got pretty darn close to what we had right here, going all the way back to July the 25th. So what was that? It was about 5 months before Christmas, and now it's September, and September 9th. We're 16 days away from being 3 months away from Christmas. So for all you Christmas shoppers out there, oh my gosh, you better get on it. So we'll see. So far, hitting our head off of this when we broke down through it. If we fail to break through that resistance, we can head back down, because that's a rejection off the 50-day. It's just that simple. So let me take that away. Take the EMAs away so you can see what's happening here. This could be considered, by the way, this could be a bullish thing. This could be a bullish Harami candle setup right now. This candle right here being the mommy candle, this being the baby candle. I believe Harami has a reference to being pregnant, if you will. And in this case, after a sell-off like this, we could see that push back up. RSI not back up over 50 yet. We want to see that too. Breaking up over that 50-day is also going to be highly critical for us to seize further upside from here. So going over to the Qs, man, oh man, look at that. Right up against resistance at about 455 today. And let me see if I can really put this on screen for you, so you can see just how many times we got rejected. I said, watch for that rejection today. There's the rejection that we got. We're getting up above that. That's a good thing. That's a bullish thing. And I would love to see that upside. My short hedges have really panned out. The long plays that I have also did wonderfully today. And like I said, if you guys want to see those buys and sells, you can check them out down in the description for the Patreon, head on over to the Discord. So to the upside of this, about 463. That's a long jump in there, about an $8 rise from where we're at right now. It's possible if we get that sort of momentum happening for us, and we had support hold down here. Again, a little bit of a bearish channel, just a little tiny one going all the way back to the 29th of August. So not that long ago. And so breaking out through the top side of that, again, could allow us some levity, send us back up. And then maybe, I don't know, I'm going to have to see. This could look like a left shoulder over here. This could be a head to it. Maybe we get a right shoulder, and we get to recover through October and November. We'll see. The election could mess with us a bit. I imagine that the market's going to mess with our heads between now and the election, just so you know, which means it's going to really tug at our heartstrings. It's going to be like, hey guys, we're heading up. And then it's like, nah, just kidding. We're heading back down. That's the kind of volatility that I expect from this. So let's go back out here to the daily chart. There we go. Boom. As soon as the market makes you feel certain, imagine that the opposite's going to happen. There we go. So again, that bullish Harami setup that we have right here, only we're above the 200-day, still a bullish thing, down below the 50s, and we'll see if we head back up and we retest those. Now, if I take away the EMAs, you get to see the travel that we get to take. The 50 EMA is going to be a little bit more reactive to the near-term price action that we have versus the SMA that you currently see on here right now. So if I put the red one back up here, along with the other ones, you can see it's a bit lower, and that's because we've been lower in the market than we've been off our all-time highs, of course. So that's what we're seeing. It looks like our momentum is still sort of in bearish territory on a daily basis for SPY and QQQ. A cross back up above 50 on the RSI would be good for bullishness. Staying up above the 200-day, awesome. Breaking back up above the 50 days would be even better. So that's what we should be watching out for SPY, for QQQ. Here's IWM, and I can't wait to talk about DJT. And I told you I'd talk about TMF. I'll throw that in at the end for you. And so check out IWM. And we're actually in, let me squish this down for you, bit of a descending wedge on this one. We have a fair amount of room that we could continue to sell, but if we do break out through the top of this, that's a bullish reversal. So it's opposite of what we saw for Tesla with the rising wedge pattern. And check out the resistance, just so you guys know what kind of technicals I'm dealing with here. If you watched my morning video, these were right exactly where I left them. Look where we found that rejection right off the top of this thing. And then just we fell down through support down this side. Now, mind you, it's still all resistance for us from the previous day. But being up there above these lines, they were still support lines, but still part of our resistance area. We're kind of trickling back into it, but watch the trend line coming down across the top. Expect us to have a little bit more of a fight in here. Going up above this white trend line is going to be bullish for us. So IWM probably going to suffer the most in uncertainty out of the three indices that I have on here that are represented through the ETFs. So just be on the lookout for that one. I don't have anything in IWM right now, but if I do see it get squished down, I got some things that I'm looking for, and I shared those in my previous videos. And as they become relevant, I'll share them on here. If we see a huge price depression in IWM, I can tell you the technicals that I'm looking for and when they hit. And that's something I'm excited about, to take that next long position for the Russell 2000 small caps. And I think, honestly, we'll see if we sell down between now and the election. I think beginning of the year could be very beautiful for us unless recessionary pressures or the word recession starts to rear its ugly head, in which case we'll probably sell a little longer. And then just when everybody's feeling max pain and we hit some of the technicals that I have, we're going to start to set it up for what I think for myself are huge opportunities. You guys can do your research and due diligence and see what you think as well. So last two for you. DJT, check this out. So this has been on a sell for a while. Check out the resistance. 1950 is the price target, which we actually exceeded in the pre-market, although the daily chart here does not show the extended hours. Oh, what the heck? Let's go in here, go down to the hourly chart so we can actually see it. So here's the hourly chart for DJT stock, and you can see in the pre-market hours, we actually made it up through resistance and got rejected, and I was able to cash in on this thing when it was still up over $18 per share with the call option that I had for a 36% gain. And that was pretty incredible because here we are in the bottom. We were messing around, bought Thursday, held on to it Friday, figured that today was going to be a good day for us, and it was. And with this volume that we have, we might even see more good days throughout this week, especially if levity stays in the market. So my buys and sells, by the way, are over at the Discord, available through the Patreon, link down in the description. There's TMF coming up. I told you I would do it. So you can see the resistance that we have across the top. That's a trend line for us right here is resistance. And look at us dance along that. This hourly chart drawn ahead of time. If you go back and watch my other videos, you'll know that I have a price target at $62. And we closed today for TMF at $62.03. Getting up above that really does activate the other price targets. And so I have something held on another call option through October for this one. So my other price targets that we have for TMF, 67 and 73. And by the way, I post these to the Discord first at my Technicals on Watch channel. So before they ever hit YouTube in a more timely manner, they do happen over there. You guys can check those things out. You can decide to use them as part of your due diligence for whatever it is that you want to buy and sell. And I'm happy to provide that service. And like I said, links down in the description for anything, any way that you want to support this channel and also help yourself out with the technicals that I put out here. And they've been on fire recently. I did adjust this trend line a little bit because of the rejection that we got here. And it was just a beautiful fit over what we had before with this previous peak. This one's even better. I think that this is really what we're looking for. And this consolidation pattern that we're in has a bullish bias to it. And I think with the FUD that we have on our plates leading up to the election, I think the TMF could do pretty well between now and then, unless the Fed does something real surprising and doesn't cut rates or something like that, which, by the way, it's expected that they do at least 25 basis points, maybe 50. The harder they lean towards 50 between now and September the 18th, the more likely it is that we see TMF push up. And we'll also see with the SEP, what they put out there, the Summary of Economic Projections, as that can be a huge catalyst for the markets and also for TMF itself. So a lot of exciting times, guys. Keep on coming back. Hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so that you guys can see the new technicals as I put them out, and also talk about the Fed as they come out and talk, as they put out their Summary of Economic Projections. We have CPI and PPI coming up later this week. It's going to be pretty, it's just an incredible time. I got to tell you, there's always opportunities to be found, and I'm happy to bring them here to YouTube. And I'm also happy to share them with my community members first over at the Discord. And remember, guys, you can learn technical analysis too using the link down in the description for Stockmo Academy. Click, sign up, use code word doctor, give you a massive discount. Thanks for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.